You kids want to see a magic trick? Roll the intro. Want to see another trick? We're back now.
Holy shit. Where did we go? You'll never know. All right. Welcome to Up at Night. This episode, continuing on with our E3 coverage, is going to be
subpar.
centric. Yeah, just terrible. My God. What are you people still doing here? This episode is going to be centric on, because Nintendo showed some cool stuff, but we're not going to do just a Nintendo video. This one's kind of being a wrap up of a lot of the stuff that like the
remainder of the E3 conference.
So yeah, we have our Sony video, we have our Microsoft video. Those are going to be up on the channel as well, coming the same day as this one. So you can go watch those ones if you want to know what happened with those conferences. They're both really great.
Watch them all.
Watch them all. Gotta catch them all. This one's going to be Nintendo. This one's going to be Bethesda, EA, and Ubisoft, kind of all...
And anything left over if it comes to mind.
And anything that... Yeah. But this is kind of the other wrap-up for all the other ones. Let's start with Nintendo, because there's not so much to talk about.
There is for the hardcore Nintendo fans and the handhelds and stuff, but as far as, I mean, the mainstream gamer, other than those the two big ones, yeah.
I will say this, I'm a little surprised. I mean, I think we knew before this going into it, but no NX. I mean, that was a bit of an interesting...
next console, no sight about that.
Yeah, no NX. But I mean, that's classic Nintendo. They're probably not going to show that until they do one of their own Nintendo Directs, because that's what they like to do. They're
very calculated, I guess.
Nintendo is very, like, too big for E3 now. They want to do their own thing.
Another little point I want to bring up about Nintendo is when we were looking on YouTube, we were just going over some recaps of E3, and we were looking up some videos. And for like Xbox and PS4, we could easily find it. You go to Nintendo, and they kind of like Hillary Clinton this, where like the first like, I don't know, like 10 or 20 videos are all Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo YouTube channel, which is complete and utter bullshit. What are they hiding?
Well, I mean, Nintendo's always been that way. Like, they are notorious for their YouTube strikes on people trying to do Let's Plays, trying to do anything that has Nintendo content. They will strike off of YouTube. Like, it's the fucking, with the wrath of God. They're the worst with that stuff. But anyway, so starting this off, we will talk. Like I said, I'm surprised no NX this conference. Who knows if it's just not ready yet, or if they're just not. They didn't want to show it this year, or if they're, like I said, they're going to do it at their own Nintendo Direct, which is my theory. Just because Nintendo likes to do that with their shit.
Maybe they're having an issue. They can't get it working.
No, I think it's just the fact that they like to show their big announcements at Nintendo Direct, because they like to get like people with those. Anyway, the biggest thing, obviously, to come out of E3 from Nintendo is Zelda.
We've been waiting a while. Sword of the Horse Line. Sword
of the Horse Line. That Breath of the Wild.
Close enough. It's the same thing.
Sword of the Horse Line. You heard it here first. Breath of the Wild looks cool. It is confirmed. It's open world. I watched. It's very cool looking. Apparently, it's a sequel to Wind Waker.
Sequel to Windbreaker.
Windbreaker, nice. Yes. But yeah, like apparently it is a sequel to Wind Waker, which is interesting because I mean that's kind of cool. I mean it has the same its art style. The character doesn't look the same. He looks kind of more like the.
It's a blend between it's like Twilight Princess and
exactly
Windbreaker.
So. Like Skyward Sword kind of thing. But the cool thing is like I saw him with different weapon like sets and stuff like that. Like it's not just here's the Master Sword, here's like a small sword or whatever. That's it. Like I saw him jumping around with like a big heavy axe. He like picked up another like a rusty sword off another dude. Like
it's Dark Souls with Legend of Zelda.
That's actually kind of cool. Like it sounds like, and like they showed that there was going to be like armor sets that you can pick up. Like I saw him in armor, which is like a first for these games. They did say like I mean you can ride around the horse like throughout the whole game and stuff like that. Oh, they didn't show that. They showed the gameplay, which is kind of weird.
It looks.
There's also like apparently there's like bandit camps that you can like raid and like take out, and like when you like finish them off, you can go there and like there's like a cooking system that you can.
I have a feeling this game is going to be hugely successful.
Oh,
no doubt.
Yeah.
I think the Zelda fans have been waiting. I personally am not one. Olivia, my girlfriend, is one. And I watched her reactions. She seems pretty excited. I think you're going to be satisfied if you're a Legend of Zelda player.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've always been a Legend of Zelda fan. I've played all of them, I think, except for Skyward Sword.
The character's kind of more feminine, I've noticed from the images. It almost seems... I wonder if this is, like, if it is Link. Because isn't there a story with Zelda that, like, it is Link, but it isn't? It's, like, a different Link all the time or something?
I have no idea.
I don't know how it works, but...
I'm not that diehard a fan, but, like, I assume the character is Link.
It's Zelda.
It looked like Link. But I have a feeling this game is going to have a lot of depth to it, which is really cool because most of the Zelda games are pretty... Like, from what I understood, like, they were saying that you came across, like, some bosses and stuff out in the wild, which is very different than what you're used to in a Zelda game. Zelda games are very... Here's a dungeon. Go through the dungeon. You get the boss. The boss is in a room that is a set stage, and you fight him there. That's it. There's no other thing to it. Whereas now it's kind of almost like you might stumble across this boss out in the fields, and... Like, who knows what you're going to have? Because, like, you know how...
It's almost like a world event from Destiny.
It is almost. But, like, it's one of those things that makes me interested to see, like, how the game plays out. Because what if you... Like, you know how... Okay, so, like, perfect example. Like, you go in Zelda 64, in Ocarina of Time. Like, you go to the Goron Valley. You get the bombs. You use the bombs to solve the puzzles in that dungeon, and then you need that weapon to fight that boss, because like the whole thing is that it's rolling around the map, and when it goes to chomp at you, you throw the bomb in its mouth, it blows up, it deals damage to it, right? You slack shit up. I wonder if the bosses are going to have that similar theme, dynamic, but it's like, what if you stumble across a boss that you need bombs to beat, but you don't have bombs yet? You haven't gotten to that point in the game. So you're sitting there fighting, and you're like, I can't deal damage to it, and then like, you got to disengage. You got to run away, and maybe if you get a certain distance away from it, it stays within an area that it's like kind of set
It has a spawn. Yeah.
And then you run away, and like, you're like, fuck, I can't. I tried shooting it with my arrows. I tried doing this and that and the other thing. I can't figure it out. And then like, maybe you're talking to a friend, or maybe like, you get to another point where you're like, you pick up the bombs, and it's like, ooh,
I'm gonna go fuck that guy up.
I'm gonna go see if that, like, because like I noticed that there's a, like, once again with that battle, I was like, there's a motion where he's trying to like, he's got his mouth open for an elongated amount of time, which is a very Zelda-esque thing, where it's like his mouth is open because he's breathing fire, or like he's doing a thing where you could easily dodge it, but there's a reason why it's mouth, like, you know what I mean? And then you run and throw a bomb in his mouth, and then you take it out. So, I mean...
It could be more intricate, though. There could be multiple ways to take these enemies down.
Or they could just be like, okay, yeah, maybe you could do that, or...
Backstab, or lure it into a tree, and it hits it, and it falls over or something.
Exactly, yeah, exposes its weak spot, belly kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with these games. I do think, like I said, there is an interesting, like, cooking system where you can make, like, you can take, like, items and make, like, potions out of them and stuff like that, so I wonder what that's going to entail.
See, my only concern is my Wii U is covered in such a thick layer of dust. Yeah. I don't know if it even works anymore.
I sold mine.
I
got rid of it. I mean, the thing for me is I will not play this game on the Wii U. I will play this game
on the NX.
On the NX when it comes out, if I get a
Good
NX.
Point. Good point.
That's the thing, is, like, for me, I figure this game is not going to be...
I don't think
Wii U title for me. It's like Twilight Princess, when they came out with Twilight Princess on the GameCube and the Wii. I was like, I'm going to play it on the Wii because I have a Wii. I don't have a GameCube. I'll probably do the same thing with this one. I'll play it on NX when it comes out. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, that looks cool. I mean, there's not much else I can say about that. I haven't like there's lots of gameplay out there. So if you want to check that out, go online. You can check out like all the videos of gameplay and stuff like that from E3. It looks really cool. The graphics are beautiful. It's got that very...
It looks
cell shaded,
very well made.
Yeah, like it's got that cell shaded like cool thing. There's some new mechanics that'll look cool. Like they've got like a stamina thing now where like they showed him like climbing up a wall and stuff like that, and like scaling.
He's got stamina. He's got an FP bar. He's got to be able to parry people like Dark Souls.
Like Dark Souls. It's all coming back to Dark Souls. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, it definitely looks like it's going to be a step in the right direction for Zelda
I'm sure fans are very hopeful because it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
They talked, moving along with Nintendo, they talked a bit more about Sun and Moon, the Pokemon games. I honestly didn't check too much into the Sun and Moon announcements.
It's just going to be a good Pokemon.
It's going to be, apparently, from what I've heard and seen, like the, what's the word? Like the graphic fidelity on this game looks incredible. Like, they're really... Like, someone was saying, like, someone did, like, a side-to-side comparison of, like, that first moment you step out of your house in Pokemon Red and then the first moment you step out in Sun and Moon. And it's like, oh, how far these games have come from, like, the original Game Boy days where it was, like, you walk out and you got that little 8-bit house and, like, you know, all that shit. And then, like, this one's going to be... Or 16-bit, whatever it was. And then, like, this one's going to be...
fully animated with textures and meshes.
fully animated textures and, like, it's all 3D and everything now. And it's like... It looks pretty amazing considering how far like these games have come. Like just for a handheld like series, like pretty much prominently a handheld series, it looks amazing. Apparently now like there's some new. I know one of the new features I heard about was like when you catch a Pokemon, like you have the option to see all of its like evolutions or whatever, so you can kind of like know where it's going / like what you're looking for.
My mind went a whole different way when you said when you catch a Pokemon. You can then decide how you're going to force them into slavery to aid you in your human lifestyle. Yeah. This one's going to be a toaster.
Woo. Well, the fucking items or things that they turned into Pokemon nowadays is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw when I got to, I will say this about Pokemon. I haven't played any of the newer ones. I've heard they're all fantastic. I'm sure they're great.
I played the recent one.
I played the original and that's it. I played OG Pokemon. That's it. But like when I started hearing that like the new Pokemon, one of them was like a scoop of ice cream, and its evolutions were more scoops of ice cream, and I was like,
they're running out of ideas.
Fuck you, Pokemon! Like fuck you.
Is there a shoe one? Is there a shoe one?
I'm sure there's just
from a sandal.
There's just fucking
to a
letters now
boot
and shit. Fuck off. The other thing that I'm going to mention from Nintendo is that there was a new Dragon Quest game that got announced. Dragon Quest 7. Don't hate me for not remembering. I
couldn't give a shit.
What I heard, brief information for what I heard. Once again, I'm sorry guys, we just didn't. Nintendo didn't wow us this year, and I really didn't have time to pay attention to their like they barely.
It's hard to get super intricate when you know games like Zelda and Pokemon are really just gonna be what they are. They're their IP, and that's what it is. There's no way like you can be like, well, Pokemon's better because it's Pokemon. It's gonna be a good Pokemon game with some extra features. What the fuck are we gonna talk about? Right? And for us adulting people, we don't really play that stuff. I'm sorry.
No, I will say this. I
play Zelda, but I don't play Pokemon. I don't have time for that.
I know a ton of people my age that play Pokemon. Like I can't even say that about that series. I won't even say that about that series because I know a ton of people that...
I'm wording it wrong. It's hard in today's society, especially like me, which we'll get into discussions about this. I'm like a PC modder. I play PS4. I don't have time to play handhelds. There's no reason. I'm always on my couch with a controller in my hand.
Yeah, that's fair. Or a keyboard and mouse or whatever.
A keyboard.
Anyway, we're going to move on. Next developer we're going to talk about is EA. There's only a few things from EA I really want to talk about. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to talk about any of the sports stuff. That's just not our wheelhouse. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, there's a new FIFA coming. It's Madden. Like, I mean, they are coming. They look great. I know they added some new features, but...
Did you hear... No, it's funny. They didn't add any new features. That's bullshit. When they display those trailers, they say the same damn thing they say every year. With new graphical fidelity. Play as your coach now. New roster.
Yeah.
So instead of having this soccer player, you have this soccer player.
Yeah.
Woo!
Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. Like if you're looking for, I'm sure there's a million other places on the internet where you can find them talking about that. I will say this: they showed Battlefield 1.
Hype.
Yeah. I mean, they showed more of the stuff. They showed some actual gameplay for it.
A little historically incorrect, but it's good.
I mean, we said that I think last week, where it's like this game is going to be that game where it's like, they're stretching the truth a little bit because
there's no Russia, no France.
Really?
There's no Russia or France, and it's World War One. What the fuck? I don't think there's a lot of Canada in it either.
DICE is not an American company. They're from...
I think they just hate Russians and French people.
Scandinavian, I think, or something like that. They're from somewhere like Sweden or Norway or something like that, which is weird because, like I said, like it's such a weird thing to not include those other countries. Like I can understand,
which they're going on the U.S. is such a big part. No, fuck you. Like it's really not. It was like Russia and Canada and like the other European places, and that was it.
But anyway, like I said, I am pretty hyped for that game.
It'll be awesome.
Looks like it'll be fun. Like you said, a little historically inaccurate, but I mean that's kind of just the way it goes. They showed a video for it. They showed a little bit of gameplay. It looks really fun. The graphics look fucking beautiful on it.
Frostbite engine.
That new Frostbite engine. Like I mean, it looks great. I mean that. What more can you say about it? It's Battlefield, so I mean I'm sure it'll be fucking fun. I'm a little disappointed with EA because they didn't show anything for Mass Effect. Like, they did show Mass Effect.
Nothing real.
But nothing real. Like, they didn't even have a fucking trailer ready for this, which shows that, I'm sorry, if you're waiting for Mass Effect, it's probably not coming out till late next year, if not...
It'll be pushed.
Early 2018, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling this game is still a ways away. If we're at this E3 and they're just showing They're showing little tidbits of stuff with a fucking video of like behind the scenes with the developers.
Like people painting concept art, people writing on the computer. That shows you that
this game is nowhere near ready. That's just the way it is. Like, I'm sorry. So I mean, what we saw looked fucking beautiful.
The graphics are great. I like where this story's heading from the sounds of it.
The concept for the game is interesting. Like they laid out the concept a while back where it's like you're going to discover a new galaxy.
You're the alien.
Like it's like it's got this sense of adventure and sense of like exploration and stuff. So it sounds like it's gonna be cool. You're gonna see all these probably new alien races, and I'm sure if it's like any other Mass Effect game, you can fuck them all. So that's gonna be great.
I would like there to be implications, though. Like, I bred with an Asari. Oh, you have a kid now. You fucked up.
Yeah. You got to pay child support, motherfucker.
Where's my space credits?
Yeah.
Where are my space credits?
Also with EA, wrapping up with EA, they showed more DLC coming for Battlefield, which they showed Bespin and like
Battlefront.
Lando Calrissian. What'd I say?
You said Battlefield.
Oh, sorry, Battlefronts.
We had a nice discussion about this where I'm at the state, I haven't bought the game yet. I played it on friends' consoles and stuff. Yep. I'm waiting for all the DLC to roll out, then I'll buy the game. Because I can't justify buying season passes over and over again. Like, just give me all my
That is
content.
a game that I will totally wait for an Ultimate Edition / Game of the Year /
Premium
Edition, whatever it's fucking called. And I'm sure that version of the game will be fucking awesome because it's going to have all these cool maps and all these cool characters and all that shit. I will wait for that. Thank you very much. They talked about, but I don't know if they showed anything, but like they announced that Visceral is making a Star Wars game that's coming out.
You know what that's got me thinking? Do you remember the storyline for there was a book and it was like about people getting on a stormtrooper ship and they were like all zombies?
Jesus.
It's a real storyline, and it was like stormtroopers that were zombies. If that's the case...
No, that'd be crazy.
That'd be amazing.
I don't know if it's going to be like that. Like, I know Visceral's making it.
Visceral kick-ass.
If you know who she is, you'll be excited. I mean, you might know the name, but Amy Hennig is working on it, and Amy Hennig is the one that worked on Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 for Naughty Dog. She's like I think she's either a producer or a writer, but she's a lead from the like Naughty Dog from the Uncharted days. So... pedigree there is pretty like Visceral plus Amy Hennig equals cool Star Wars game. Like that's just anybody. Like,
if anyone could do a space game, it's Visceral.
Yeah,
I would rather have had Visceral than DICE in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair,
but they still did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, like Battlefront doesn't look bad. I think it's just one of those games that like it's like Titanfall in this for the sake that like it was a good idea when it came out, but not enough content. And then
its marketing is what's bad.
And then when the game was done, from what I heard, like Titanfall was actually a really good. Stacked out game by the time it was done with all its DLC. There was new game modes, new maps, tons of stuff, but then like nobody was playing it by that point. The player base was pretty much fucking
if you don't have a sustainable
at least Star Wars can kind of sustain its player base because it's Star Wars. I think it has the name to carry it on.
It's hard to maintain player count. It really is. Once you start losing players, you can't go back up.
That's all I'm really going to talk about for EA. If we missed anything, I'm sorry. Like I said, I was actually kind of bored with EA's conference. It was, like I said, there was a lot of really, oh my God. I gotta point out the fact though, like they had this point where they were like, "Oh, like stick around because like we're gonna have two teams of like celebrities playing Battlefield 1, like 64 player first player match kind of show," and they showed Jamie Foxx and like Zac Efron, and both of them looked. You gotta watch the video because like they're like. Yeah, we're so excited. Like, it's like so forced.
Cheesy,
yeah, it's so forced.
EA gave me money.
Yeah, like you can tell that EA literally walked up and was like, here is a bag of money. We want you to play Battlefield in front of people. And they were like, yeah, all right.
And Zac Efron's like, I'm bored. I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you have to see it because like, it was like so forced and awkward, and like you could tell that like they're not hyped, but like it's the funniest. I
would have loved if they're like, "Oh look, Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx are playing," and it's like, "What do you guys think?" It's shit. And then it just like cuts away.
Yeah, no, but that was for a highlight. Go check that out. It's fucking hilarious how painfully awkward that is. I'm gonna talk about Ubisoft last. I'm gonna leave Bethesda for last because I think that's kind of like the thing that we're most excited.
Finisher.
You're right. It does. So Ubisoft announced a few cool things. They started off their conference, which I thought was a really great start, was Wildlands, Ghost Recon. I'm telling you, man. Like, I'm gonna show you the video after this because, like, you need to see like the
they have lost.
You saw the trailer from last year, I assume. Yeah, like remember?
No, okay. So here's the thing. Ubisoft has lost my trust with Ghost Recon games. So I'm like,
that's a fair thing.
I will watch it, but
I'm telling you right now, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by this one because it's got a very third-person shooter, almost Division-esque gameplay kind of style.
Like Ghost Recon. There was another game they did that had but they're all third-person.
Well, yeah, they are, but but I remember there's a mode like when you aim down sight or whatever, it goes into first-person kind of thing, But it had the whole thing with this game is they're talking about the fact that there is like multiple ways to solve any kind of mission. So it's like you can run in and storm the place. You can
go stealth. It's like Hitman.
Yeah, it's like a Hitman kind of almost, right? But it's cool because it's all about teamwork and it's all about the way you go through. So I'll show you the gameplay video they showed as kind of the opener to their thing after this, and I think it was like I said, it was a good showing of what that game's going to kind of be like. So the guys are playing kind of hamming it up, not hamming it up, but playing it up a little bit. And they show videos at E3 and these guys are talking like they're fucking tactical fucking Navy SEALs assholes. They're like, we got 2 bogies.
Like that dude floor that does the Battlefield videos. That's
oh my
so
god,
funny.
yes, that guy. Look up that. What do you know his name?
I don't know, but he's like, I got 2 bogies down. I need heals now.
Yeah. Medic. Yeah. No, but these guys
stay with me, soldier.
Yeah, these guys are totally doing that in the video, and it is one of those things it's a little tongue in cheek because you're like, okay, guys, yeah. I get into it when we're playing, when me and Stu and Ryan and we're playing Battlefield. We don't do that shit, but I got
there's a helicopter on your left.
Yeah, I got a helicopter.
Take me right.
Yeah, or I'm spotting this guy for you. But we do the only the farthest we go is okay, we got a couple guys on Bravo. Let's go take that. Because that's kind of the lingo they use in the game, right? So it's and it's easier to say that kind of stuff. But I'm heading Charlie. I'll see you guys there, kind of thing.
For me, it's always been there's an asshole on C. Can you snipe that asshole on C? Pick me up, asshole. Pick me up, asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised by the way this game looks. They showed a bit of the differences and how you can do the missions and stuff, and the whole mission they show is them going in to extract this dude because he's got information that they want or something like that, and it looks fun. It does.
He has the Wi-Fi password, and they got to get it from him.
He's got the Wi-Fi's. So like I said, that one I am pleasantly kind of looking.
I'll have to watch it. I will.
I'm optimistic about it.
Yeah.
For Honor, they showed more gameplay about and another trailer for For Honor.
That's the
first person, or not first person, the
third person Vikings or
Vikings, samurai, and knights kind of fighting game. They kind of showed more about what the storyline is about. It's all about those 3 factions and how they kind of started fighting. And it sounds like there's almost this the storyline. It sounds like it's almost about this war goddess that's kind of pushing them into fighting each other and stuff. It had a kind of cool, interesting.
And then they team up at the end and they beat her.
Maybe, who knows? Shit. But yeah.
I keep hearing little tidbits about that game. It's going to go one of 2 ways. It's going to be either one of the coolest games that ever has come out,
or the combat's going to be fucking annoying, and
it's going to be annoying and not fun and under the radar.
So the one thing they showed was the Vikings going in and raiding this Japanese village, and it shows the boats the Viking boats rolling up to the thing. The place they know they're coming, so the whole place lights up and there's samurai everywhere. They crash the boats right in, the guy they show the guy and he jumps off, and it's almost there's it's interesting because the style was almost this dude was telling the story it was not a legend, but this guy our men stormed that day, and they're talking about this one Viking, and he runs in, he fucks up a bunch of shit, and he goes in and fights their big captain, and he's talking about what he did and shit, it was just that was one of the first of many battles, and it was just kind of cool the way they were doing the storytelling.
I'd like to see how samurai would even deal with Vikings, because it's just the most polar opposite fighting styles.
I know.
We're just gonna swing aggressively at you, and the samurai calm, collective, well trained. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it looks interesting though. It looks definitely fun. So there's a few other ones from them. They showed a Star Trek game. It's a VR game. It didn't look that good, to be honest. The graphics look like shit. People were like, "Oh, it looks so good," and I was like, "This looks like crap." But it's one of those games. It's one of those funny games. It's VR, and it was 4 people can play it. And one person's the captain, one person has the helm, the other person has the defenses and the attack and stuff like that. It looks like it might be fun if you're a Star Trek fan. Other than that, I'm sorry.
To me, it sounds like the equivalent of the Just Dance Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
I'm Han Solo. I'm on solo.
Yeah, no, thanks. They finished off with this game called Steep, which it looks like it's like an extreme sports game. It's all about like snowboarding, wingsuit, like gliding, skiing.
For Connect.
No, it was an actual.
I'm joking.
Like, but like, and like they had like parachute, like, but it was like one of those games where it looks like it might be fun if you're a fan of those things, but like, they showed like a really long trailer for it, and it was kind of like I was like, okay, I'm bored of watching this already. Like, please go to something else. Like, it might be fun and it might be a cool like extreme sports game, but
to me, I don't know why they even like fund this stuff. Like half the stuff that Ubisoft funds, sometimes you're just like, why do you just have like, they must have like just piles of money, and they're like, well, doesn't hurt, send it out. I
forgot to put it on this list, but one thing that I am excited from Ubisoft is South Park.
Stick of Truth again?
No, Fractured Butthole.
But it's like a sequel to Stick of Truth?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fucking right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This one, I think, from what they showed from the combat, it has a little bit more of like a RPG strategy type of combat. But it's funny. So this one... So, first of all, the Fractured Butthole title is amazing. That's such an awesome title. But the whole thing for this one is, instead of like... Because, the last one they were playing like fantasy and stuff like that. Like, that's like... This one, like the trailer... Like, it's not even a trailer they showed. They showed like a... like gameplay right away, and like Cartman's like talking to the new kid, and he's like, you can't play it, like, because like, in the end, like the last one you end up like the king and stuff like that, and he's like, what the fuck are you like you're not like, it's all about superheroes, this one's all about superheroes. And he's like, you're not a fucking superhero, you can't hang out with us, kind of thing, like, and like they give him like this whole like superhero persona. Like, I guess you pick like what kind of superhero you want to be. You can be like an energy wielder, you can be a speedster, you can be a brawler. And it's the whole thing. So like the trailer they show is all about Cartman talking about how they're gonna do their superhero movie phases, and like, because it's all about the coon, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's all about the other kids not wanting to be part of his like movie plan because a lot of them are like centric around him. So they split off and start their own superhero stuff. Movie. It's all about like DC and Marvel fighting, and it's also kind of got a Civil War-esque thing. Like, that's what it's called, the Fractured. But like, it's like, it's so funny. Like, it's so man. It looks like it's gonna be so good. Like, and they even had Matt and Trey like on the stage, like talking about it and stuff. So it's gonna be good.
I can't wait to see. Is Kenny a female character still?
I don't. No, he's the same superhero he was in the show. Whoever he was in the show, I forget.
Oh yeah, he was the Question Man or something.
That's him. Yeah,
the question mark or something. Yeah.
But they showed what's his name as Professor Chaos, like
Butters.
Yeah, like it's gonna be great.
That's gonna be amazing. Dope. I never even thought about that. They do. They have all their heroes. That's great.
So they talked about a couple of movies as well. Apparently, the Watch Dogs movie is a thing. Did you know that?
Huh.
It's not like in develop. Like, I think it's not like completely at the point where it's like in development yet. But apparently
it's in the works.
Yeah, it's in the works. So Watch Dogs movie is like, they said it's in the works. Like, we're not going to talk about it yet, but like, it's coming down the future. Then they talked about the Assassin's Creed movie for a bit. They showed the trailer for it again. They showed a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. I'm still hyped for this movie. It looks like it's going to be cool.
Take the Kanye West song out of the trailer.
Yeah, take the fucking,
seriously,
whoever it is.
We went and saw Warcraft the other day, and we were
did.
sitting in there. We're watching the trailers, and it comes on, and we're like, "Did they take?
Nope,
did they take it out? It's the same
music.
trailer."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "It ruins it. It ruins a perfectly fine movie
trailer, at least
movie trailer."
But yeah, that movie looks like it's gonna be dope. So I mean, that's. I will say this: Ubisoft went way too long on their fucking conference. It was 2 hours long.
They should just make their own fucking console at this point.
Like they went for 2 hours, and like by the time they were like, yeah, they talked about Watch Dogs 2. I should mention that. Like, I completely forgot because they focused on that a ton. They showed like tons of gameplay for Watch Dogs 2. They showed the new character and stuff.
Who's black? And there's a bit of controversy with some people that he's black, and I'm like, I couldn't give a shit because like,
care fucking
he's probably more interesting than the last character, to be honest.
It's like we talked about last week. But like, my problem was like, they kept showing more gameplay for that game. Like, they kept being like, and here's another 10-minute video of like fucking Watch Dogs, and you're like, no. Like, I was like literally like,
hurry up.
Like, I was on my couch practically like curled up sleeping by the time like
just taking in all the information you could.
God, stop talking. I love Aisha Tyler, but we need to end this now. For fuck's sakes. They also talked about Just Dance, obviously, like they always do.
You don't even need to bring that up at E3. The fan base for Just Dance is going to be bought without advertising.
Exactly.
I want to dance, Mom. Here's the game. There you go.
There you go. So that I think that pretty much covers everything big from Ubisoft as far as I can remember, other than they announced more DLC.
And they're taking a break from Assassin's Creed by the sounds of it, right?
Yeah, they didn't announce anything for Assassin's Creed the game this year at all. They did announce more DLC coming out for Division, obviously, because they're still supporting that. Apparently, they still have a pretty strong player base for that. Good for them.
The DLC did pick it up a bit. There were some issues.
So there you go. There's some new ones coming out. Like, it sounds like they've got a plan for a lot more DLC to come out, expanding it. Great. We're gonna finish off here with Bethesda. I think these guys did great this year. They had a great conference.
What a great way to start E3.
E3, yeah. I mean, that's the thing interesting, because like normally before it used to just be like the day one was Monday, and that's where all the conferences were. And Bethesda kind of threw it in there.
They're like, we're busy. Can we do it Sunday?
They basically threw it in there for Sunday. Yeah, it was really cool though. So there's a few things great coming out. They opened it up with Quake.
Yeah.
Which I was a little disappointed with because I found it's PC only. But I mean, maybe that game is kind of like made for the PC community because it's only multiplayer from what I understand. It's called Quake Champions. And like it's all about like
it could always come to console if they find it being successful. They might do that.
Maybe.
There's a lot of PC games that get their start on PC and then come to console.
But I mean, it looks like I don't want to say they're competing with like Overwatch, but it kind of looks like where it's like they showed a handful of characters that kind of had their own like special abilities and stuff. So I wonder if that's kind of like the market they're trying to hit with this.
I'm sure it'll make enough money that it's not a bomb, but I don't see it being Overwatch level. I really.
It also is being made by id, so I'm wondering if it's going to run. It's probably going to run on Doom's engine.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they did talk a bunch about Doom and like all the expansions that they're adding for that, which apparently the multiplayer has been getting a lot of like pretty cool expansions coming and stuff like that. So that's great.
If it makes the game better, then I might consider
exactly. They officially announced, because we already knew this was kind of coming as a rumor at least. Skyrim is coming to the PS4 and Xbox One as a
release
remaster.
Works exactly the way I figured it was too. I totally called it. All they did was they've taken it, they've given it a little bit better lighting, better textures, better water textures,
new water effects, new light effects, new snow effects.
It sounds
like
big.
New
sounds
textures,
like a lot. Really, not much.
It really isn't. They are adding mod support for the.
You get about
some mod support for the what's it called for the consoles, which is cool by me. Cool.
Which PS4 is getting mods for Fallout at the end of this month.
Yes.
And
Xbox One already has them, right?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah.
So how it works right now is there's discussion about how the mods, you can only have 2 gigs of total mod data. And it's kind of, that sucks. That really sucks because I mod on PC, and I find that file sizes can get pretty big.
Yeah.
Like a hair pack is like almost a gig.
Yeah.
Like if you get a couple mods, you're going to be full easily, and don't expect.
We'll see how long it takes for them to maybe expand that.
They said they wanted to up it to at least 16 gigs, I think, which is a lot more comfortable. You're not going to get anything crazy though. You're not going to get graphical stuff really, unless it's like texture-based things where it's like I got a new costume or I changed the color of this. Like that's more of the mods you're going to see. You're not going to see like, oh my god, I can knock people's like skulls off their body or something, which that is a thing, and they might have that actually, but. It'll be interesting. The game itself, if you own the DLC,
if you own the Legendary Edition on PC, you get a free upgrade, I guess. But I mean, if you're running on PC and you've been playing this long, you aren't
missing anything. Your game already looks better than that, anyways.
You're fine. So that's pretty much exactly what's coming from that. Fallout 4, they announced is going to be
a new
playable.
Season Pass. Oh,
well, yeah. So they announced the new DLC that's coming out. There's one where you can build your own vaults. There's more building stuff in general.
More crafting material.
More crafting stuff in general, which, whatever. I mean, the vault thing is pretty cool. I never got into the building, so I mean,
I love it. It's going to be awesome.
But I do like the fact that they showed you can kind of find your own cave. They had to they showed them clearing it out of monsters, and then you build your
It sounds like Hearthstone in a sense, where you find an empty lot and you build on it. Instead, you're building in a cave.
Exactly, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I mean, for the people that love the kind of building, which I know people get really into that. That's really cool, especially because I think people are probably asking for the ability to build your own vaults. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. But then they also announced Nuka World, which is another
that seems great. It seems awesome.
Story DLC based thing. We haven't seen too much on that yet, but it sounds like it's going to be great. I mean, their story Far Harbor's been doing great so far. So
I've been playing it a lot. I love it.
The other cool thing that they announced for Fallout 4 is that it is going to be playable in VR. like completely playable in
on
VR.
PC.
On PC, yes. With the Vive.
It'd be the Vive and the Oculus.
I don't know if it was Oculus. I think it was one of them.
It'll be full support. There's no way there won't be full support because if they don't do it, some modder will.
Yeah,
there's like
that is fair.
Yeah,
but I mean that's cool, man. Like Fallout fucking 4 in VR. That is so cool. They're like
you get to talk to people.
Yeah,
and be like, okay, well, the only thing I hope they do is you can turn off the. You know how when you're having dialogue between a NPC, it turns to your character's face? I hope in VR...
They probably will turn that off.
Yeah.
I foresee that you will be seeing only in first person, kind of like the older games, where you're just seeing the character in front of you and you're picking your
GTA
dialogue.
5 needs VR support for PC.
That'd be cool. They also announced Doom was getting VR, but not as far as like gameplay. It's more of like a...
You can just play it.
No. It's like a gallery mode where you can like wander the levels... and kind of like look around and like it's like a viewing mode, you know what I mean?
It's like using Google Maps.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? As far as I can say, whatever. It's cool that they're doing it. It's cool that they're kind of on board with VR enough that they're like, yeah, like I don't think Doom could run on VR because it's way too fast paced. Like, you know,
not
what I mean?
with
Like,
the current system. I don't think there's a way to do that right.
So that's probably why they're doing that. With like Fallout is a game that you could easily play on because it's a little bit more slow. It's a little bit more like kind of
you just have to change your play style.
Chugging along, like, you know, kind of doing your thing. Like you hit VATS and kind of shoot and stuff.
The VATS is the biggest reason I think you can put a first person in it. Yep.
Yeah. The biggest thing they talked about, which they went on for quite a while about, was Dishonored 2.
Yep.
Which we knew was coming because they showed a teaser trailer last year, but this time they actually showed a little too much gameplay, but they showed gameplay. They showed like 20 minutes of fucking gameplay for this game, and it was cool, but like Dishonored is not one of those games that shows well when you're watching a stealth game
play out for 20 minutes
because it's like, oh, here's a guy and he's sneaking up on it. I'm like, this is cool, and I can't wait to play this because I'm sure it's gonna be super fun.
Hurry the fuck up.
But hurry the fuck up. They did announce that you can play as either character, so you can play as Corvo, which was the guy from the first game, or you can play as Elizabeth. Is that her name?
Yeah, it's the female character.
Yeah,
I never beat the first one.
The princess from the first game. She's grown up now. She's the new character that you can play as. And the cool thing is they said you can play the whole game as either or, and each one has their own power sets and stuff like that. So like it's completely different if you play as one or the other. Similar thing to the first game, they're gonna have all new, like what's it called, like multiple paths through the game. You can go through the game without killing anybody. You can go through the game without or like without being seen. Like they said you could stealth the whole game. Like you do all of that stuff, which is really cool to me. They set, like, everything looked great. The game. Sorry, excuse me.
You're falling apart.
Falling apart. That's what I had for eating Little Caesars.
You're dying inside.
I'm dying on the inside every day.
Damn you, stuffed crust pizza.
Damn you. Yeah, like I said, like the game looks fantastic. The game, like, visually is amazing. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait for Dishonored. I love the first one.
I have no doubt that's gonna be a good game.
The only thing I regret from the first one is that I didn't play it on my console because I played through that game on PC and did beat it without killing anybody.
So you're like, you would love to have that.
I would love to have been like, it's one of those stupid things where like, I know I did it and I can tell people I did it, but it would have been nice to have that achievement.
Go look at my trophy list.
Yeah, like it would have been one of those things where I could have been like, I fucking did it. There it is right there. Like,
how do you think I feel? I got a Microsoft account banned with like 50,000 achievement score and like a ton of games. Yeah, a ton of games, 100%. Every Halo game was 100%ed. Yeah. Oh well.
Sucks.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I think that, is there anything else you can think of? I think that wraps up everything for me. E3, doesn't it?
You know what? As far as this next year goes, we are going to have so much to play.
Yeah. It's a good year to be gamers. I'm sorry we didn't watch the PC conference. I didn't see any of it. I couldn't.
It's hard to look up something like that.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I was trying to find information on it, and like I didn't.
Most of what we want to play on PC is probably on console.
I know, and that's the thing.
A lot of it'll. If you want to see some stuff on PC, check out our Microsoft video. It's got some PC stuff with their cross compatible.
Yeah.
Check out our PlayStation video as well.
So yeah, remember there is a video for PlayStation's conference. There's a video for Microsoft conference. Those are going to be up and available at the same time as this video, so you can check them out now. I think that pretty much covers everything. Thank you for watching.
Like, subscribe, share,
and we will see you next week.